My brother burned down our family's shop and let me serve 6 years for it, so I made sure he was arrested in front of the city council. I called my mother from the bus station the morning I got out. She answered on the 5th ring and said, "Already? Like 6 years was a long weekend." I asked if someone could come get me. She went quiet. Then she said it'd be better if I stayed away, because Garrett had a name in this town now and people would ask questions. I told her I was her son, and so was he. She said, "Give it time," and hung up. I slept on my Aunt Verna's couch and spent the first night going through my brother's life on her tablet. Vain construction, photos with the mayor, a profile in the Business Weekly. One quote stopped my breathing. Nobody handed me anything. Some people make excuses. I made a company. He built it with the insurance payout on a building I went to prison for burning. Here's what never sat right. The night of the fire, I was asleep in my truck in a motel lot 40 miles out, and my toll transponder proved every mile of that drive. My public defender never pulled the records. He said juries don't like arson, and I should take the deal. So I drove to the courthouse and waited 3 hours for my case file. Buried in the evidence log was a gas can from the tree line behind the shop, with a work glove wedged under the handle. Neither was ever tested. 6 years, and nobody tested the glove. I went to my mother's house that afternoon. She tried to push the door shut, and I put my boot in the gap. I asked if she'd known it was him. She wouldn't look at me. I said her name until she did, and her eyes were wet. She said, "He was going somewhere. You never had that in you. I thought you'd understand." Something in me went out like a pilot light. I asked where Garrett's old phone was. She said she threw it out years ago. Her eyes went to the garage door. I found it in a bin under a stack of church cookbooks. The kid at the data recovery place got it running in 2 days. He turned the monitor toward me and told me to sit down. Messages from the week I was arrested. Garrett to a girlfriend I'd never heard of. They like him for it. He didn't even ask for a real lawyer. Mom says stay quiet and we're set. Then the one that took my legs out. He's eating off a tray and I'm picking granite for the new office. Life's good. I found an attorney who does wrongful conviction work. She looked at the transponder logs, the untested glove, and the messages, and stopped taking notes halfway through. The glove came back in 11 weeks. It was his. She asked when I wanted the hearing. I said I didn't care what day, as long as it landed on the 18th, the ribbon cutting for the Civic Center contract he'd just won. I stood at the back of that crowd with my hands in my pockets. Garrett got up to the podium in a suit that cost more than my truck. Everything I have, I earned. Nobody handed me one thing. The room applauded. My ears rang. Then the doors opened, and 2 deputies came up the center aisle, and the room went silent in about a second and a half. He saw me first, then the badges. "Excuse me, this is a private event." The deputy stepped onto the platform. "You're under arrest for aggravated arson, insurance fraud, and perjury." Garrett laughed. "That case is closed. My brother did that. DNA from the scene came back to you. We also have your messages." He looked out at 200 people. Nobody moved. A councilman set down his coffee. "This is a mistake. Do you know what I pay this city in taxes?" The deputy took his wrist, and Garrett jerked away hard enough to knock the microphone off the stand. "Get your hands off me." I walked up the aisle, and he locked onto me. "You ungrateful piece of garbage. After everything I did for this family." I stopped at the platform. "What exactly did you do for me?" He lunged, and they put him down across the podium. "I gave you a purpose. You had 3 meals and a roof in there. That's more than you ever managed on your own." The room made a sound I've never heard a room make. I leaned down close. "Enjoy your new roof." They walked him out screaming. My mother tried to slip out the side door and a deputy stepped in front of her. Perjury and obstruction. She looked back and asked how I could destroy my own family. I watched them put the cuffs on. "You did that first." Garrett got 14 years. My mother got 2. I bought the lot at auction with the settlement. The new shop opened in March. Behind the register, where our family portrait hung in the old building, I framed my release paperwork. People ask about it every day.